The real reason the Panthers went down is the reason the Crips are going down. It has to do with the community and the land and communication, and who's supposed to communicate the will of ancestors, and who communicates the will of Rome secretly in secret societies. That's pretty much what's going on. Their Hippocratic oath has to do with Set. Who settles it, Apep or the Hawk? The Hawk is supposed to settle it. I am not supposed to be questioned ever, especially over anything related to materialism. That is the deepest of offenses, and anyone who continues to do it from here on out will be excommunicated permanently, and God will judge you in your afterlives. The social order is ruled by me, and like it or not, when Horus and Set rule together, Horus has the final say, and Haru is the true form of Horus when you extract and get exact and precise and precision and speed. Strategy, speed, and physical contact. Well, what's strategy? Study the human body, precisely strike it, versus a bunch of hippos saying, just rush it together and scream in a bloodlust with Apepi and drugs. You're starting to get it? Hago became ugly because the northern white man took his women, and he's scared they'll take the rest of them. It all goes back to reproduction. And that is why he is a little coward with a little heart, and cannot possibly be the one God chooses unless God does. To confound the arrogance of Judah, for example, could be a reason for not understanding my real point and only seeing the materialistic implications of it. My friends, I don't even take time to fix my fucking beanie. I'm giving you the truth and I'm driving around because all your political groups in this blue state are chasing me around as wolves in sheep's clothes, snakes on moon, and scum drug me in a way that changes my behavior and try to make me seem Roman. And to a certain degree, with the style, there's a touch of Western culture. But I'm part white, so fair play. Accept me as I am. I am your prince. I don't care what the fuck you think about it. I told you time and time again all my life, sparring, bloodshed is taboo. Was my older brother a wrestler, or did he go into capoeira? Did my little brother follow suit with me, and deep down knows that I'm right, but went to pacifism, thinking he cannot win because he lacks the courage and conviction? With all due respect, I am the Lion of fucking Judah. And there's a Judas roaring lion who's ordering black people to move against me. And he needs to know his fucking place and sit down and settle down. Settle down that storm. The sun is in charge, and not the soul evictus, invictus type bitches either. I am the true light. I am the offspring of David. I am the offspring of Judah. I am the relative of Jesus. I am the Ikenga that is circumcised. Not those who despise us and kill us with drugs in the most cruel and indifferent manner, while focusing on the material implications of the future of humanity, including the earth itself, which means nothing to the sun. It's just another rock that we put out there compared to you pussy-ass motherfuckers who don't understand and are just doing things out of what you don't know. But when you compare it to the actual spirit of people like me, you pale leper, Miriam, thinking Ninevite, stop hating on Kush. I would go as far as to say it's the white man's fault that the black man is chosen. You Miriam-type bitches ruined it for all of you. And now you're trying to control reproduction with some Cupid-looking bitches, and as feminists, you are ruling against me continuously and telling women to roll with the New World Order and abusing your positions? Let anyone who denies me my rightful place be cursed forever. And I give you all a chance to weigh in the spirit of Igbo democracy, if you think you are more consistent with sacred morality than I am. David, Goliath, Joshua, but in a way that is bloodless and consistent with our growing and improving spirit. If you think you can improve the leopard into a better lion, and you don't want to be a calf trying to be a big fat fucking bull and cover the light, please step into the light. And keep in mind that you will respect my title, and you are basically on your knees giving me your opinion. And the moment I think otherwise, I will shut you out, and I do not know you. Who the fuck you think is in charge? Some fucking house nigga pussy? Propped up by Greeks, Romans, Japhetians, and Talmudic traitors to God, who happen to be related to greatness so they embody some traits in different ways? Who the fuck did you honestly think it was? I am like a child when I communicate, I know. graceful. Very nice. But make no mistake, I am a baby-faced giant that moves at God's speed, and you owe respect that God shows me. I don't give a fuck what excuse you make. You carry your cross. That is the top martial artist command, if you will. The top divine temple, light war artist pointing up, sunroof, looking up, blinding the around you. I don't even care what's around me. Not only do I not care about the food from the earth coming to the ground, I don't care about what you're doing with your pretty bitches to the point where I'm single still. I'm looking up, buddy. The sky is the limit. 7 is the limit, you 9s. Know your place. You are not me, +2. You are beneath me. -1. You first of the month derived traitors to God. And those of you who are the exception, do not even for 1 minute think of taking their side, or you are lost. Alright, so the numbers represent 0. 5 is halfway, it's the default state, that's why it symbolizes man. It symbolizes the birth of man, your automatic default state, the moment of birth, moment of conception, concept, you understand? Sol invictus, convictus, is it in us or is it in them? Convictus, sol invictus Rome. 1 is the closest you can be to hell. When do people get paid? When do Bone and Thugs and Harmony? Bones. It's in your bones, right? Your material. And they see a little bit of the spirit in their bones, but they don't focus on the spirit, so they don't get it. So briefly, when do you get paid every month if you're on welfare? According to Bone Thugs and Harmony, at least at that point.
The first of the month.
Exactly. That's the closest you can be to hell. That's the spiritual bottom of the social order if one accepts it and looks at it completely from a materialistic point of view. Now, once you turn it upside down in the spiritual perspective, the lowest is the highest. Those that reject the beast and are abused and carry their cross, willingly or otherwise, are the highest. So the black man has been made to carry his cross unwillingly, just like I have been doing the work of God until I came to the consciousness of ancestors. So for the 5 to defeat the 6, he cannot aspire to be greater than God, doing it the Mason way or any other non-light temple way by being the 9. The 9 is the Mason who keeps the light in the material world, so to speak. He cannot disturb the balance, and he cannot overrule God. And other than that, he tries to do the best he can to maintain the order. That is his rule. The Mason, the 9, and the devil's servants, the Satanists who are straight Satanists, the atheistic Satanists and the Satanists. Okay? They both have to bow down to my rule of my family, and they know it. So they've been trying to drug me to avoid this from coming out. There are 10 trees buried in Israel for my grandmother, and that is the nail in the coffin. Okay, literally, my grandmother's burial symbol, the symbolic burial of my grandmother, and the rebirth of the bloodline of Judah in Israel. Me being the royal family of the Ebos, my dad being friends with Jews, all of it proves beyond any doubt that I am the true light prince of Ebo. All I ask is you tell the truth and you never take back what you say, and I will never punish you for that. Myself, it is not my place to judge. Is that fair enough?
Yes.
Righteous?
Yes.
Did it not just cut off for whatever reason right when I was talking about my title?
Yes, it did.
So that is an example of technology working against my philosophy, whether they did it or planned it out or not, right?
Right.
So there's a certain amount of fight or flight natural reaction, and some people have cultivated their philosophy in a certain area, and this is why Ethiopians tend to be smaller than other people. Their ancestors were actually taller, and for the smaller man to usurp the taller man, it's like the new man usurping the old. Oh, the New World Order, well, we're short now, versus my ancestors were great tall men of great stature, real Ethiopian motherfucking guys who didn't play like Johannes, real warriors. Tigrinya, the tiger, right? Tigrinya, I think it's a coincidence, okay? Amhara, Aham, okay? These guys were the type of guys who didn't fucking play, okay? And I'm not gonna let some pipsqueak pussies with little heart diss the shorter guys with heart of a giant, or the fucking giants that put it down. That's part of my message. And I'm never, ever, on Ebo in Ethiopia, ever gonna back down from that concept, no matter what. They sol invictus convictus, put us on the first of the month in their material world, while Masons turn a blind eye type of bitches, daring to justify it with Luciferian science, and pseudoscientific shrinks who want us to shrink to fit have to be put in their fucking abyss. Not us put in their little box as slaves with physical chains or not. The spirit is what Jesus demands. You carry your cross for the philosophy of God. What do you think? Am I a fanatic? Am I adhering logically from a higher level of thought? What is your honest opinion? And no, I will not punish you regardless of my tone, because my tone also reflects God's righteous indignation and love for even those who say something he doesn't approve of. So please, your honest opinion. Without the emphasis on Hades, the H, but
I don't think you're a fanatic. I think you're passionate. And it's important to be passionate about what you believe in. And it's important to share that with others.
How would you compare your experience with me on person to your experience with me talking on the phone? How long have we been talking? Like 2 years or so?
Yeah.
How would you compare that?
I understand you better in person than I do on the phone, but, I'm glad that we are in communication.
Okay, for whatever, so am I the same person more or less on the phone than in person?
Yes.
And in person you understand me even more than the phone, safe to say?
Yes.
Alright, so now this part is very important. I want you to emphasize this part whenever you talk about it. Do you think everybody's perspective matters, including the drugged? Or we are to assign expert power to some and automatically assume they're superior based on Babylon's system?
I think everyone should be heard. Everyone has...
So even without even considering religion from a true scientific perspective, we can agree on that. Boom.
Yes.
It's like the founding fathers, at least some of them must have agreed on that, right?
Right.
Logically, based on the Constitution and how at least some people of every race feel about it. So therefore, if I was to compare that system to a system that consistently gives us leaders, that has preserved the human race with the Spirit of God for hundreds of thousands of years, which one would pale in comparison if you believe their own narrative about how old the human race is? Homo erectus, right? Erectus, erected temple, erect penis, right? Cattle cults. How would you compare my natural narrative to the people who are trying to drug me, if as a fair judge on behalf of women who are stigmatized and disenfranchised everywhere, put an emphasis on that, chosen by God for whatever reason we came together? How would you judge me naturally, as God naturally guides me like the Nile, the current of the Nile, or drifting at sea, completely at the mercy of God, as opposed to having a compass in the white man's, sail version of a bull, with Greek fire to control who sails the best in the high seas, instead of the most high in the air, in the sky, the Skywalker? How would you compare my logic to theirs on behalf of all women who are disenfranchised, who aren't heard?
I can tell you this. I'm glad that we met. I'm glad that you're in...
My little brother is taller than I am. My older brother is stronger than I am. My little brother is taller than I am. I am the middle child. The first son says, hey, I'm first. That's part of Lucifer's problem. That's part of the problem between Ham and Shem in general. And the blacks who are mixed with Shem are more inclined to go with Shem. You understand me? So the second son is the qualities of the first son, and the third son pales in comparison and is supposed to do what is told. The argument isn't between the third son and the other two. Okay, so they must know their fucking place. No exceptions. Do you see how I came to that conclusion?
Yes.
Is it the most logical argument you've ever heard?
Yes.
All right. You see how that's the light? And if they cannot beat it, then for whatever reason they are insufficient, and they need to sit down and shut up and accept nature's will if they're going to talk about nature and Nati dread and stuff like that. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So the Ethiopian is a great man, and speaking on behalf of the disenfranchised people related to great men who cannot express that physically because of the white man's eugenics, Plato and the 10 tables of Rome, focusing on their captives in North Africa. That's why it's mostly white and there's small black guys who compromise left over in secret societies. Now you tell me, whose side are you fucking on? My black sister, knowing I will not punish you no matter what you say. But you tell me why. You tell me now.
Your side.
Do you represent the Ethiopian giant with a huge heart, and every man of small stature with a big heart? Perhaps equal, perhaps not. According to the order of God, whatever Scripture says, not me or you or anyone else, but Scripture and ancestors? Or do you want some kind of Roman fucking row your boat with a white man's sail and technology in a fancy yacht bullshit? Do you want the solar boat or the yacht, my sister? Do you want Judah on the solar boat or the yacht?
Judah on the solar boat.
And you remember, it's not just what you want. However you're attracted to me or whatever, forget all that. You're speaking on behalf of the disenfranchised people, on behalf of the feminine spirit from the heart.